So round two of the AmPro League in Malaysia. I'm second on the front row for the first time in any of my league races, and we are off in Malaysia. It's been a great start here as I get alongside Agusti and momentarily take the lead, but he is the inside line, I have the outside line, turns 1 and 2. I'm going to try and hug it around the outside, which turns to the inside for turn 2. And there we have it, into the lead. As he is trying to get alongside me, get my slipstream, but it's no use. Out of Sector 1, I am in the lead of the Malaysian Grand Prix. And that follows one of my best qualifying sessions ever. Agusti was on pole in a wet qualifying session, but I was only 2/10 off him, beating likes of Womax, Miguel and Alessio very impressively. I was very pleased with that. But at the end of lap 1, I run wide in the last turn, and that puts me under pressure from Agusti. A really bad run, a really bad exit, completely missing the apex. I was struggling in that last turn, and here he goes, Agusti, alongside me at the inside line, identical to a lap ago. As we head into turn 1, I have the inside line for the next corner into turn 2, but he gets a great run and he muscles his way past me. He gets a great run up turn 3 flat out, and he leads, and that is the end of Agusti really in my race. He is streaking ahead, as you can see. In lap 4, Womax gets within DRS range. The two Lotuses are so quick in this race, and he goes down the inside of me as that same corner, the last corner, is causing issues for me. I'm struggling. I just can't get it right. I get DRS for the next straight following that, but you can see I'm way back, few car lengths behind, as I take a lunge down the outside rather of turn 1, which tries to turn to the inside in turn 2, as I make a desperate lunge down the inside Womax. I know if he's lost there, he's gone for the rest of the race pretty much, and I'm lucky not to spin. And lap 8, I make a pit stop, but I come out behind Plam as I pit for new primes, as my options were a great set of tyres in this race, but they were getting very worn. I was losing a lot of time to Womax and Agusti. So lap 13 here, as I cross a Sector 1 split, the gap from me and Womax has increased to 7 seconds nearly, and Alessio is flying. I believe he's on options, and he is 4.4 seconds behind me. But on lap 14, the exact same Sector 1 split point, Alessio somehow falls behind. He's now 8 seconds behind me. He's lost a chunk of time, 4 seconds in one lap. So I was very relieved to get rid of that pressure. As lap 18 now, I come in for my second stop. My engineer said it was going to rain in 5 minutes at this moment in time. Me and Agusti have made our second stops, but Womax, as you can see, is taking a risk. He's going on to intermediate tyres. I thought I wouldn't see him for the rest of the race, but he's spent way too long clearly on those option tyres of his in this second stint, and I pass him, and it's lap 23, and I'm wondering, why is the gap from me and Womax increasing by 5 seconds a lap? It's because he pitted for intermediate tyres. He's taking a big risk. And lap 23, at the end of lap 23, I have to pit for inters. It's getting too wet. My engineer told me to pit, but as you can see, I come up and I'm 19.2 seconds behind Womax. I'm in a world of my own. Gaps too far ahead and too far behind, but Agusti loses connection on the last lap, or the second last lap. He was leading the race. He was making a great race, and that is desperately unlucky. As you can see, I'm going to come across the last corner to get a P2, but not in the circumstances I wanted to. Agusti had a great qualifying, a great race. He thoroughly deserved to win the race, and really unfortunate for him. Absolutely not the way I wanted to gain a position on the podium. I had a podium anyway, and I probably would have been happier with a P3 than the P2, with Agusti finishing the race, of course. But anyway, here are the race results. Great result for Alessio, his first podium in this league. And here are the Drivers' Championships. So Miguel had an off weekend, only 4th place for him, and Womax with his win sees him take the lead of the championship. I'm up to P3. I'm very happy with that. Haven't been anywhere near as high in my other leagues, so it's looking decent for me. I'll take it. And the Constructors' Championship, Force India up to second. I'm really happy. Big up Zara. Great points for the team as well in P7. It's really tight between ourselves, Mercedes and Red Bull, only 8 points separating us. But Lotus still lead the way, and the gap could have and should have been bigger because Lotus should have had a 1-2 in Malaysia.